It's Wednesday and we're vlogging. Today we're going to talk about the reason why children are being taken out of coming to weddings. Why all the invitations you get in the mail are now saying invitation, invite only, adult only, no children. So we're going to just jump right into it. Number one, back in the day, weddings used to be a holistic thing. It used to be the entire family. Well, now we're no longer doing that. The only cultures that's still inviting children to weddings are normally Hispanics. Indians are really hip about inviting children to weddings, but the Caucasian community and the African American community, we're saying, hey, we just want to have adults only. So children are not being invited as much as they used to be. And some people ask the question, why? Why is that happening?
Well, I can tell you why. Look, Ray running around like somebody lost his mind, wreaking havoc everywhere, and ain't nobody saying nothing. He running all around my feet when I'm trying to do the monkeys. When I'm trying to do monkey swing, he just messing me up. I don't appreciate that at all. And I think I see some of them kids running around like somebody crazy. What? And you know better. Now, wait a
minute. You not no, I watch my children like a hawk. And you can ask anybody about that. I watch my children. Back to what I was stating before I was insulted by not watching my kids. Well, to say in a much nicer term, a nicer way, that may be the case. I can partially agree. But for some people, they do say that the children are not being watched as they should. And if we're honest, we don't really watch them like we should. And they tend to take over a wedding, to take over a dance floor. You know, when we're trying to dance, the kids are running around in circles. Kids don't care what music you're playing. They just like to hear it, and they want to jump up and bounce and do all kinds of things. So some adults are not as comfortable or happy with children in attendance because they will take over a wedding. So number two is, for some adults, it kills their mood, their vibe. Weddings now for adults, for couples, is becoming like a date night. You're not bringing children, coming to a nice event. It's free. You're eating good. You're drinking good. You're having fun. You're dancing. And with children there, you can't be as comfortable. Most adults don't want to really drink in front of children.
Because I'm sure trying to turn up. I'm talking about like turn up. And I don't need no babies trying to. I don't need my nieces asking me questions about what's in my cup. Tell me, can they have some? Because you know, I might give it to them. You know me, I might give it to them.
Instead of you turning up, why don't you just shut up? Be quiet, please. My goodness. And take off that shirt. Take it off. Most of us don't really want to dance the way they would like to in front of the children. When a slow song comes on, you may want to do an extra grind with your husband, or you may want to move a little bit more than normal. And you can't do that when your children are sitting there watching you. Or if my niece there, you know, most children, they just kind of look at you like this. They so in love. Hey, Titi. And they're just watching you. And you don't want to do certain things with your nieces and nephews watching you when children are present. Like I said, you don't want to drink. For those who want to get involved with that, you don't want to do that when children are present and watching you at the venue.
Since you said turn, let me see what we got here. I'm just saying. Since we talking about put it down.
Put it down.
What? Oh. I can't get this. Oh, what you say? Put it up.
You just walking around here embarrassing me with the shirt on. Do you know what the shirt says? It says something loud. Take the shirt off. And how you get one anyway? Take it off.
Girl, they know I drink. They know I drink now. What is you saying? I'm talking about alcohol this part of the session. You just said the kids in the way for drinking, right? Alright, I put it up. Down. I'm putting it up till later.
I'm letting you do this. Come sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Last issue is the cost. Children do cost. Every person that walks into that facility, you have to pay for them. And we know now every child, they eat like grown people. When you go to McDonald's, I reference McDonald's a lot. I don't know why I do that, but I do. When you go to McDonald's, it costs. It costs a lot. It's not $1.99 for a Happy Meal. Now it's called a Mighty Meal because it's a mighty price. And when you go to eat with your kids at Logan's or Longhorn, even Applebee's, that stuff not $1.99 anymore. It's $4.99. It's $5.99. So it's the same cost. For a wedding, it costs to feed everyone in there. What are you saying? Why are you whispering? You want to say something? Say what now?
Oh, I know it costs too much. Because, honey, your kids.
Close your mouth by my children. Close your mouth by my children. Close your mouth.
Your kids. Your kids. Baby, I remember that time you took them to Tricie and Andrea's house, and she asked them what they like to eat, and she asked your little baby how many wings she wanted. She said 10, but Tricie and Andrea didn't have but 10. That means somebody was gonna be hungry. I'm sure they was telling because that youngest baby you got, she don't never stop eating. So, Carlson, absolutely, y'all need to start feeding your kids before you bring them to these weddings anyway. Cause I know they tell y'all not to bring them, I still bring them anyway. So at least give them some McDonald's before on the way. I'm just saying, you ain't paid for this wedding. They asked you to come, but you ain't paid for it. And you bring. I remember we went to one event. Let me finish. I'm gonna say this. We went to one event, and this lady. I was a kid. It was a whole table of kids in the front row, which is 8 to the table, the very front line. And I asked them, could they please step to the back? And she come out the room talking about, what's the problem? The problem is all 8 of your kids has taken up a whole entire table at the front of the reception. You need to be at the back, because they're not going to eat all the food first. And who told you to bring 8 of your kids? And why you got so many anyway? What's going on?
So again, we don't want people to get offended when they get invitation in the mail that say that children are not allowed. It's some rationale behind it. And when you get married or have to help someone pay for a wedding, you understand that, it's just we are not taking care of our children. We're not watching them. And this should be a lesson for all of us to watch your kids when you take them to a wedding. They're not there for you to drop off. This is not Chuck E. Cheese. Watch your children. And number 2, it kills the mood and the vibe for someone else because they don't want to. They want to respect the children in the room. They don't want to dance in front of them. And they don't want to drink alcohol in front of children. So it kind of throws them off a little bit. They don't want kids running around their feet while they're trying to dance. They don't want to be on the dance floor with children. Adults and children shouldn't even be mixing much anyway. So some adults, it kills their vibe. And lastly, it costs money for Ray. I'm not going to use her terminology. I'm sorry. For Dominique, Michael, Corey, Andrea, Aaron, Leslie, Allison, and Monique. I said 8 because she was right. There was 8 children at that table at that wedding we had earlier this year. And I was like, my Lord, where'd they come from? It costs money to feed all of your children. And they're going to want to eat a hearty meal. They want to drink all the lemonade and all the cake. So just keep that in mind. Don't get offended. I always say your turn will come for some type of event, whether it's a graduation, a retirement party, a birthday party, or a wedding, where you have to do what you want to do for your event and respect other people's decision as you want them to respect yours. So it's Wednesday. We're vlogging from Andrea, a lover of Christ. We'll see you on next week and be blessed.
She thought she was going to let me say nothing. It's Wednesday from Tricie, a love of Christ. And I know what this shirt say. It say something like, I understand. I know Jesus. I mean, I might like a little bit of, I don't even know the name of the other wine there because I don't even drink it really, to be honest. But I know Jesus. Why she trying to front me in front of everybody? Be blessed. And we'll see you on next week.
Get off of it. Get off. Oh! Get off of it.